Hello there. Boop. The video you're about to watch, boop, doesn't have a high production. Boop. But what it does have is lots of funny pieces of unidentified media. Boop. You wanna see? Boop. This is a piece of unidentified media. Mysterious, forgotten, and oftentimes smelly. With these pieces, we have no idea who made it or where it came from. Sometimes it might just be a recollection, or a random photo or video someone found. Finding out where these pieces come from might seem easy, but oftentimes than not, it's tricky. Why don't we look at some pieces of unidentified media on the forums to get a better understanding? That was underwhelming. Good thing we have this iceberg that only gives us the most interesting entries in this vast genre. This is part 3 that'll cover tier 3 of the iceberg made by YouTuber Semideuce. If you haven't seen the other 2 parts, you can go check them out on this channel. Are you ready? Let's go.
So I think it's rather appropriate that we start the 3rd tier with a song nicknamed the first most mysterious song on the internet, Light the Lanterns. This song would first make its way onto the internet in 2019 by a YouTube upload from this guy named Windows to Sky. The story is that it was found off of a cassette tape labeled Demo Listen Today, alongside the number 85 being written on it. Now, initially it was believed that the song's lyrics are about the Illumination Night, a book written by Alice Hoffman in 1987 that tells the tale of an annual festival that happens on the island of Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts. It's based off of a real festival that happens on the island annually. However, while this was the most popular assumption about the song, it wasn't concrete and doesn't really set a time period for when it could have been made, because even though the novel was published in 1987, the tradition dates all the way back to the mid-19th century. So unless you want to believe that this song was made during the days of Ulysses S. Grant, it doesn't really prove anything concrete. At that point of the search, the only piece of info that could really set a time period was that the song used a Yamaha CS-80, which was released in 1977. However, even this is disputed. So with that out the way, if you're new to the Lost Media community, it's time to do our favorite pastime here in the community. It's called harassment. This guy, Windows to Sky, he obviously knows more than what he's letting on, or he made the whole thing up. So let's harass the shit out of him, because here in the community, we're like the CIA in a third world country. We can do anything. Okay, now he probably did the original upload and expelled himself from the search. Now let's lay dormant because we're out of ideas. I'll see you in about 3 years or so. Welcome back. Now let's get into the most recent and biggest lead about the song so far. Now, there was a theory looming around that the lyrics of the song was related to the Southeast Farland Island in San Francisco. In digging, Reddit user u/no-wrongdoer would dig up the records of a woman named Delpha Atkinson, who was born on the island in 1927 to parents Thomas and Grace Atkinson. Now, in the lyrics of the song, there is a person named Grace mentioned in the song. It's believed that Delpha is the she, and Grace was, well...
Do you like waffles? Yeah, we like waffles. Do you like pancakes? Yeah, we like pancakes. Do you like French toast? Yeah, we like French...
Now, at this point, only one of the children of Delpha's was thought to be alive, but we didn't know for sure or how to reach her. Although, we would get a lucky break a little while later on a YouTube re-upload of the song that has now been taken down by some nobleman who definitely was upholding copyright law for the betterment of us all. A comment would be left on the video by a user named Denise, who said that she had found a person in the San Francisco area that had a family story that resembled that of the Atkinson family. Denise would email the person and they would confirm they were the daughter of Delpha and would leave this message to Denise. Life was very hard on the island, and there were 3 gingerbread-type homes on the island. The islands were governed by the U.S. Coast Guard. The family of 3 left the island in 1930. Delpha was 4. She and my grandmother never returned to the islands again. I grew up with stories of life on the island, and they were not happy memories for a woman. The Coast Guard formally invited my mother to be escorted to the island many times to visit. However, she declined due to seasickness. I have no idea who wrote these song lyrics, but I find it all very coincidental to my family's character and history. I am the daughter of Delpha Atkinson. Thanks for your interest, Denise. With this message, more connections between the lyrics and the story of the Atkinson family could be drawn, such as the 3 gingerbread houses. Wait, wrong song.
Crazy ladies in gingerbread houses.
And this lyric.
Light the lanterns for the shipwrecked sailors.
Referring to the lighthouse on the island. Images and records from the time do in fact prove that this family did exist and in the circumstances explained by the women in the email, which adds a lot of credibility. And that's where we currently stand with this entry. Everything else after this has just been, guys, it might or might have not been this artist. I'm just saying. This next entry, we can get all of our info by going to the oldest first section of Lost Media YouTuber. I meant it as a compliment, not an insult. Kylie Bogley's YouTube channel. Let's react to it. I've always wanted to do this.
I'm sure you have strange, vague memories of media that you consume as a child. You might not give your own much thought, but on a bigger scale, internet stories have become very popular. And there's something I'm on.
So this tale revolves around Kylie's mother and a music video she remembers seeing from the late 80s to early 90s when she was young. The video was set in a rather tropical or Egyptian setting. Basically, she just remembers it having sand, and these 2 purple women with outdated hairstyles. For the time or in reference to current times, I don't know. And then he appears. The stallion of a being, who could very much be the pickle chin this young gentleman was referring to you as. Not to demean, but to compliment. Kylie's mother remembers the man, nay, being, sitting on a throne and wearing a very long hat, while also having a very long chin. It's a compliment! With a religious-looking attire. She also remembers the being taking a nice angle to stare at the audience at home and give a lovely smile. Kylie, determined to fulfill her mother's wishes of figuring out who or what the f this video is, took it upon herself to tell the tale all across Reddit, and have a bunch of people telling her to shut the f up and getting banned from TMNT. Okay, maybe posting it 8 times on the same sub is overkill, but I still set up a GoFundMe to go free her. Kylie's mom also drew a lovely photo of what she remembers the deity looking like. Okay, now that's just mean. Remember what I said like 10 seconds ago? No. Well, that crusade against Reddit wasn't all in vain, because in the midst of people asking her to stop reposting the same story for the 15th time, there were a handful of people who had provided some helpful ideas and interesting discoveries, like this commenter who had found a YouTuber that made a video about this exact case, and how they were looking for it too!
I'm sure you have strange, vague memories of media that you consumed as a child. You might not give your own much thought, but on a bigger scale, internet mysteries have become very popular.
Kylie should get in contact with that person. It would be massively helpful. There were even some people who had remembered seeing the same, if not very similar videos to the blue chin guy, like one account from Reddit user u/Unlovable Darkness. However, this one differed from the mother's account in the fact that Unlovable Darkness remembers it being a commercial rather than a music video, and it being shown in the early 90s rather than the mid to late 80s. Unlovable Darkness also remembers the smile on the blue chin guy that he gave to the audience, calling it a rape face. Kylie has been super determined to find this lost video, contacting a bunch of artists from around the time period and contacting other lost media creators to spread awareness. But she didn't contact me, which is the reason why it hasn't been found yet. Honestly, my biggest question about this is if Kylie's mom remembers anything about the music itself, because she remembers it being a music video, but in all the posts and the video Kylie made, she doesn't mention anything about what the genre or its sound had, which I feel could be massively helpful because there's a fair amount of videos suggested that share lots of similarities to the blue chin guy, but just aren't it. Wherever he is, the day he arises, the earth will never remain the same. So be careful what you wish for, Kylie, because you just might get it.
Brilliant, confident, mentally untouchable.
Guys, I think I might have just solved the song. So what we feasted our eyes upon is another lost song. I give you a little sneak peek into the world of fallen heads of state. So let's ignore the fact that I already solved the song, and I'll just make up this story that the mystery would originate on the Encyclopedia Metallium forums in 2009, from a post by user Sled1025 on a thread dedicated to identifying songs. He would ask if anyone knew the song. He claimed to have found it off of one of his cassette tapes that he had recorded in the mid to late 80s. He claimed that the song couldn't have been made any later than 1988. He also states that he believes that the song could have been called Fall of the King.
Say that again?
Now, if you watch the iceberg up to this point, you would know how the story goes, and this Lost Wave is no different. It commits the Lost Wave sin of the OG snippet being posted in the 2000s, then being forgotten for years on end before resurfacing in popularity in the late 2010s and early 2020s, thanks to reposts on more popular social media networks. Come on, writers, this framing device is getting boring! At least he switched it up, and look how successful he turned out. Now let's get back to Sled and his claim of it being recorded off the radio. He claims that the recording of the song came off a Dallas radio station called Z-Rock. Now during the resurgence of interest in this song, we learned that Sled was not the only person to have recorded this song off the radio. One recording was found to have come from Cleveland, Ohio, and another from Chicago, Illinois. The ending of the song is different in the Cleveland and Chicago broadcasts. Proving that this song did play multiple times on the radio. The origins of this track remain unsolved to this day, and I like to dub it the biggest pile of debunked leads out there, and yeah, that list is only going to get bigger. That was a pretty good story for the fact that I made that all up on the spot. Thank goodness Fallen Kingdom isn't Lost Wave. I don't know what I'd do without it. The entry title says it's old, but it's a little rude to assume that it's old. How do you know for sure? It might just look old because he's impure of heart. Anyways, this story originates on, and to think this iceberg was starting to get good. We have a post from user Jabacha that explains that we are looking for the origin of this old man, and to find where he came from, because he seems to have gotten himself a little lost. Now this man needs to get his act together and stop trying to be the next big meme face. Dude, no one knows who you even are! No wait, that's actually a great idea. If we print a bunch of merchandise and promote it with TikTok creators that are more than likely promoting dropshipping scams, and then use it as the next big reaction image, we'll solve the case. Anyways, this picture that the OP linked to is the only proof that this old man exists, and comes from this music video. Hey, I know that song! At the 1 minute 28 second mark, we can see the cameraman give a lovely pan to the man with the green gland. You know, there's nothing to disprove that Banksy didn't make this artwork, just some food for thought. With lost media searches, it's always best to contact people who are known to be closely associated with the piece, and because this video is the only proof of this old man's existence, I think it's best we contact Tory Lanez to see if he knows anything. Unless he's in jail or something, I'm sure he'll respond to our inquiry. The OP claims that they believe it was from a cartoon from the 2000s, but me personally, I believe that this is just an original design for street art. Much like the Unknown Dog entry from the tier prior, the artwork does look rather unobstructed, so it's safe to assume that it was made rather recently to the music video's release window. Because to me, it just looks like a generic street graffiti design that you'll see across buildings all across the city.
And now, eternity.
Hello? I tell you, these third worlders. Hello? Why does someone not talk? Oh my god, this is a fucking website dedicated to talking. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, I have a message I need to send to you and many others alike. So, I need you to go to the YouTube search bar, and I need you to type funny FBI warning. And then click on the result that comes from an account named That Dude Logo, something like that. The video is only about 10 to 15 seconds long, but it's very important, and it's a message that I believe everyone needs to hear. And send it or spread the message to as many people as possible.
Is that the video that shows like random pictures and then says you're ugly?
No, it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. Fuck! Hello?
Hi.
This is... Ooh, the second I knew I heard that voice, I just know he's shirtless. I just know he's fucking shirtless, just based off of his voice. Hello?
Hi.
Okay, there's a message that I need to send to you and many others alike. I need you to go to YouTube. I need you to go to the YouTube search bar, and I need you to type in funny FBI warning, and then click on the result that comes from an account named That Dude Logo, and then
Wait, say it again.
I need you to go to the YouTube search. I need you to go to the YouTube search bar and type in funny FBI warning.
Okay.
And then click on the result that comes from a account named That Dude Logo. It's only about 10 to 15 seconds long. And but it's very important, and you should spread the message to any close ones and loved ones that you know, because it is a very inspirational message.
Why?
Because it's very inspirational. I believe if more people know about this, that
How is that inspirational?
do you not find it inspirational?
Hi.
Hello. Okay, I have a message. I have a message I need to send to you and many others alike. I need you to go to the YouTube search bar, and I need you to type funny FBI warning. And click on the result. Click on the result that comes from a guy named That Dude Logo. The video is only about 10 to 15 seconds long, but it's a very...
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Yeah, the Zoom one, right?
Yeah, whatever you said. Yeah, high five, high five. It's, yeah, spread the message to as many people as possible. Cause
That
because it's a very important video, and I believe the more people that know about it, the net positive impact it leaves on the world. Hell yeah!
have a good one.
Hands up, fist bump. My
My
Pakistani. Hell yeah, yeah. We take those. And the guy with you. Hello?
Hello. Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I have a message I need to send to you and many others alike. I need you to go to the YouTube search bar and type in funny FBI warning. And then click on the result from a guy named That Dude Logo. And the video is only about 10 to 15 seconds long. But it's a very inspirational video, and I believe in order for the betterment of humanity, you should also spread the message to those you love and those you know, because I believe the more people that are aware of it, the overall greater net positive impact it leaves on the world.
Why should I watch it?
Whenever you can. It's very important.
Why should I watch it?
Why should you? Because
Why should I watch
it's inspirational and doesn't take much of your time.
But I don't care about any inspiration. I inspire myself, by myself. I don't need just a human being to inspire me. What if he's kinda misleading me or something?
He's not misleading you. Oh my god. Trust me on this one.
You're just trying. So why should I trust you? You're just a random dude.
It's only 10 to 15 seconds long. It's only 10 to 15 seconds long.
But what if you're just kind of like advertising for this?
There's no advertising. I swear to you could.
You ever want to make a bitch laugh? You show her funny FBI warning.
So if you don't know about the funniest warning to ever live, let me give you an explanation of humor that may never be matched. In fact, in its honor, at the start of every video from now on, I will put up the funny FBI warning. Not only to entertain, but to educate. Do not steal my shitty videos. The funny FBI warning comes from this video from user Dude That Logo. That is a short 11-second clip of one of those FBI warnings you'd see at the beginning of most home media releases of shows and movies. Dude, those used to scare the shit out of me when I was little. Like, just let me watch Dingo Pictures in peace, please. As we can see, if we were to pirate this tape, we'd get blah 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 blah, 5 years in prison, severe embarrassment, and potential bad luck. People have gotten less severe punishments for stealing bread in ancient Greece. Jeez. And the fun's over. Well, even if we wanted to pirate this tape, we can't, because the tape that this warning screen comes off of has never been found. The only lead we really have comes from the description of the original upload that states that Dude That Logo got it off some random children's VHS he doesn't have or remember anymore. Other than that, we know literally nothing else. Oh, funny FBI warning, now that you've gone away.
Then when the world is better, so what's also the results? I can understand. At the end of the day, until that actually happens, you will be that, I guess, by this time. So why do you care about something that will be happening after your death? So why do you
Because I care. I'm a selfless person. That's why I'm going through this initiative to tell everyone about the funny FBI warning.
But I think that people by default are selfish, not selfless.
Well, I believe in the power of human goodness, and that is why I spread this word to everyone, mister.
Yeah, but based of what? Like, you're doing this for what? You should get a reward in return, and you are not even you're not subscribing to any sort of like indoctrination, so what is the point? I can understand. If you're doing it for the sake of Jesus, Christianity, Islam, that would just make a bunch of sense, but apart from that, so what's the fucking point?
I subscribe to the doctrine of human goodness, mister, and that's why I do this.
And what the human doctrine actually adds into your life or afterlife?
It leaves a safer future for me, my children, and the children all across the entire world, sir.
But what do you care about, people after you die.
Okay. Let's rewind again, cause I'm a selfless person who cares about the goodness of humanity.
But that's against your nature.
It is not against my nature, sir. That's how I was nurtured.
Okay, so are your parents great?
Disgusting!
Well, that was different. The name of this entry is appropriate, because this is absolutely disgusting. Because this entry didn't read the iceberg itinerary, because this isn't really unidentified media. It's more just general lost media, because we know where it comes from, we just don't have it. It revolves around this image, which if you've been around the internet for a while, you're probably familiar with this image meant to display the true disgust one feels. Personally for me, I'm more familiar with the TF2 variant of this image. Anyway, this image is the only image we have of the broadcast it comes from. No other video, photo, or audio snippet of the broadcast has been recovered. Hell, we don't even know what the broadcast was about. My theory is that it was probably absolutely disgusting. Now, solving where this comes from makes the really good basis for a puzzle game. Move aside, Pickle. The image would first originate on a website called Photos of TV by Mike Sachs, which is just a bunch of funny or interesting photos of TV broadcast. Hilariously, however, these are just images of the TV taken from a camera, a literal screenshot. There was also this image of James Dean, who, contrary to his appearance, is said to be rather offended. It was thought that this could possibly be connected to the absolutely disgusting broadcast. However, in 2022, Mike Sachs would be contacted by Lost Media Wiki user SpaceManiac888. However, Mike said that he only took one photo of the broadcast and doesn't even remember what it was about, like at all. So we're on our own. Well, we can click the news logo. UPN 9 News. This was a news station that broadcasted news in the New York, New Jersey area from 1995 to 2006, till they changed their name to the CW network after merging with WB. This gives us a good time frame for when the broadcast could have happened, but we can do better than that. YouTuber Sewer Reviewer was able to uncover that the broadcast was from 2005 due to the design of the logo seen in the image only being used in 2005. Sewer Reviewer also gave a very likely explanation for the headline. He explained that the headline is more than likely a transitional headline shown between commercial breaks, like a coming up next broadcast that'd be about 30 seconds long. Also, the guy in the image is Bob O'Brien. There's not much to say about it, but he passed away in 2018 at the age of 75. Sewer Reviewer would also create a On the Hunt missing poster to spread awareness about the broadcast. Man, this puzzle game sucks. The news logo was the only clickable thing. Now we're at a dead end.
Fiery hair and a turbocharged backpack.
Oh shit, I know what the song's called! So here we have another formerly lost song, Lost Wave if you like names for unnamed things. This song would originate on an Italian sports broadcast from 1983.
Molto attesi gli italiani che schieravano un campo di partenti davvero fortissimo, con al debutto il mostro della Re di Iveco con Ambrogetti Villa, ma che ha visto la vittoria di Ted Toleman, appunto il patron di Michele Alboreto. Cioè non è il patron di Michele Alboreto, mi sono confuso prima, era in precedenza lo era stato. Bene, Toleman ha vinto davanti a Della Valle, Rossi e Guadalupe Silva. Siamo all'inizio della stagione e soprattutto per i debuttanti. Questo dico questo e mi riferisco al debutto dei mostri italiani che oggi non sono andati bene. Bene, i debuttanti, come sapete, devono pagare lo scotto per inesperienza.
Like a song sung in fake English got popular in Italy because people are so sick and tired of hearing every single person fucking talk like this. Oh wait, I know this song. 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 I know this. This broadcast would later make its way onto the internet through a daily motion upload. However, wouldn't gain much traction because who the f cares? It would later be re-uploaded to What's That Song, where it would gain some traction. Like 9 years later though, by a user named Mr. Zsack, now known as Wario Touches Zebra Fan, who stuck with the search till the very end. Now, while searching for more info about the search, I kinda turned up empty-handed for any leads prior to the song itself getting solved, so let's just assume this lead was just a giant stroke of luck. That stroke of luck being Discord user Neil, who was able to link the artist Piero Cotto to the song's creation by being able to match that the IPI code on the Discogs listing for a single free batch was the same as the SIAE database listing for a song called Johnny in the Middle. Discord user, some random account on Discord, would contact Piero and confirm that it was in fact his song, with his wife providing the background vocals. Now, did I ever tell you that this original snippet is incomplete? Yeah, in the original broadcast, the song just kind of fades away. Well, I tell you this because it's mid-June and the full song is still lost. Apparently, there's some legal troubles associated with releasing it, even if Piero was able to find a surviving copy of the full song, which, hey, some DLC for your Lost Wave search. It'll revive interest in the subreddits. It's gotta.
Give you deals on the food you love. The kind of deals that make your boogie.
These Lost Wave entries are really taking the juices out of my head to write creative scripts. Like, if I see another one, I might... Never mind. If you've watched up to this point, you know how this story goes. Roll the clip!
No time playing games with little wicked boys. Special look at quick, he'd smile and I says he's ready, but I just can't run a mile. Pick your feet up yourself, funky. Using words like messy, baby, play me funky. Your way of high, boy, don't you know it? You think the dance floor was a name? Dance floor was his name. If I took a pill and looked at you, I wouldn't stand a chance, I'll stick to drinking.
So that little snippet of rather unintelligible lyrics you heard is older than the We Speak, being posted all the way back in 2007 on Was That Song by user. However, wouldn't really get popular till about mid to late 2023, when the people born in 2007 could finally retain memories. The OP claims to have gotten it off of a compilation download from a now defunct peer-to-peer site. An early theory about the song is that it was a live performance thanks to the crowd cheers heard at the beginning of the snippet. Then you also had a bunch of, "I swear I've heard this before!" But that's just granted with these searches. Listen, one day, that guy will be the answer. Just you wait. Anyways, the OP of the 2007 post would be contacted by Reddit user u/cherryblossom_cherish to inquire more about where the OP found this snippet, and while the OP didn't remember much, there was one piece of vital info. The SD card that the 2007 OP had used to upload the song. While the OP had stated that he doesn't have this song on the SD card anymore, he had a song that sounded very similar. The metadata on the SD card would reveal that the song was from a band called Royal Treatment Plant from an album titled simply Demo, and that it was taken from a now defunct iTunes listing. Well, this is it. Now or never, to Discogs we go. Cherry Blossom would discover that track 5, a song simply titled Funky from their self-titled EP, matched the metadata of a recovered piece from the original file used to upload the 2007 snippet by the OP. This is it! A promotional YouTube video would be found that contained the exact same crowd cheer heard in the 2007 snippet. Finally, with more digging, Cherry Blossom would find a longer snippet of the song on the drummer Katie's personal website. So it was never lost. Shut up! After being contacted, the band would confirm this was in fact the song they were looking for. Funky by Royal Treatment Plant. Then, a month later, the full EP would be found by Reddit user u/thenormalelevator32 by digging through the Wayback Machine of the band's last FM page and discovering that the top listener would be a user named Artstorm. After being contacted, they said that they owned a CD copy of the EP that they have since sold, but still had the backup files for the EP. Jesus Christ! Every second of our lives is under surveillance if this random ass person could be hunted down because they listen to a niche band. Despite what this song tells you, sometimes it isn't just a game, but a story. This is a tale of the greatest Lost Wave song of all time. Just a Game. Our story begins in 2018 on, where else honestly, where we meet our man, Gabor72, who has been posting a lot of snippets of songs he owns, with hopes of figuring out where these songs came from. 107 would be posted. Most would be solved rather quickly, except for one of note. Can you guess which one went unsolved?
And now I know it's just a game. I don't need the rules to play. Maybe it's happy, maybe it's sad, but you can choose the way to play. And now I know it's just a game, and I don't need the rules to play. Maybe it's happy, maybe it's sad, but you can choose the way to play.
Well, I mean, the name of the song is literally right there. This snippet was posted on December 23rd, 2018. However, in 2018, we were all too busy playing Fortnite and subscribing to PewDiePie to care about some silly AOR song. But boy, were we wrong! Okay, let's fast forward to 2023-2024, when people actually started caring about silly lost songs. This song would start to grow in notoriety like every other lost song. But that's okay, cause look at this dude who can fucking change races! So time for clue gathering. Well, the snippet begins with the female voice and then goes into two male vocalists in a duet. Looking at the other snippets Gabor72 posted, all of them were released on vinyl, most of them being vinyl exclusive releases as well, and the majority of them came from European artists, with all songs being from the 80s and 90s. Now solving this is quite the pickle we have here, cause there's like a million different songs called Just a Game, and even more with similar titles. So we're just playing the monkey and the typewriter and looking at every song on SoCang and Discogs until we find our song. We set up a team of monkeys to do it. I'm sure they'll get back to us eventually. Now with that out the way, one lead that would probably give us some good results would be to contact the OP of the original upload, because it's believed that the original OP, Gabor72, more than likely has a longer version of the song, as what's that song only allows up to 30 seconds of audio to be posted on the site. However, finding him wasn't exactly as easy as clicking the linked profiles bar. It would be discovered by a user on Reddit that Gabor72's What's That Song profile would come from a Facebook page. After a bit of digging, they were able to find the exact Facebook page that the profile picture came from. The usernames matched, and so did the source code. This was our guy. However, it appears that we were too late, as a post from the wife of Gabor72 would confirm that he passed away on March 6, 2024 at the age of 51. Multiple other posts would be found from family members who grieved and celebrated the life of Gabor72, which proves that this was real. This discovery would not go unnoticed by the family of Gabor72, as his daughter Dorka would reach out to the mod team of the Just a Game subreddit to provide any assistance regarding this lost song. She stated that Gabor would often record lots of songs off the radio, and that Gabor lived in Hungary during this time, which explains all of the European songs from his other What's That Song posts. She also stated that it's more than likely that he got the snippet off of some place like LimeWire, as he would often download songs from there and amassed a massive collection of music. Dorka stated that she would dig through the stuff he left behind and see if a longer version of the song was anywhere in his former possessions, but any updates would take a while. Let's see how the monkeys are doing.
Are given typewriters and allowed to
Okay, that's cool. Finally, on June 30th, 2024, Dorka and Reddit user u/sodapopyarn would announce that the full version of the song would finally be found.
Here I stand, all alone again. Now I realize the signs are pushed away. 1,000 times I try to remind myself to live for the moment, be happy with me. But I lost the chance 'cause it didn't heed to my heart. And it hurts so much to feel everything has gone.
Let's make a new start. Let's realize what we're doing. Not the money or the power will catch you any fall. See the children in the desert. See the hopeless, desperate eyes. Ask the father what he feels when his hungry baby cries. But he lost the chance 'cause you tried to get it all. And you won't understand until your back is to the wall.
And now I know it's just a game. I don't need the rules to play. Maybe it's happy, maybe it's sad, but you can't choose the way to play. And now I know it's just a game, and I don't need the rules to play. Maybe it's happy, maybe it's sad, but you can't choose the way to play.
Even with this monumental discovery, the artist behind the track would still be unidentified. A bit later, Reddit user u/RodyJoe401 would find a Gma database listing for a song called Just a Game by Christoph Bachmeier. Now, what would set this apart from literally every other song in existence called Just a Game is that the alternative title for the song was Here I Stand All Alone Again, which if you paid attention, you would realize, holy fucking shit, this is the song! Christoph Bachmeier would be contacted and would confirm that he was in fact the creator of Just a Game, and sits us all around the campfire to explain the backstory of its creation. He explained that the song was created in 1988 for a charity event called Change to Win, which was a charity event to raise money for impoverished children in Africa. Bachmeier would credit the singers as himself for the first verse, Regina Simmons for the second verse, and Carly Mayer for the third verse, and Mario Lanier as the man who sung the chorus, and the part that Gabor72 uploaded to What's That Song. Mario Lanier passed away in 2010 at the age of 60 years old, leaving behind this song to be discovered many years later. Bachmeier said that only 500 copies of the vinyl had ever been made, and only 200 to 300 were sold at the charity concert in 1988, and that he has no idea how Gabor72 acquired a copy of the song. This does confirm that a full copy of the song does exist somewhere on the internet prior to Dorka's discovery, because it's very unlikely that the song ever saw any airtime on the radio due to its limited run. However, no such copy has ever been found. Since then, Christoph Bachmeier has done a reprint of the vinyl that he sells to this day that I don't have because I'm a fucking idiot! But hey, Ray Conniff lives, everyone! Bachmeier would also post a recording of Mario Lanier actually recording the very song I Cry To in the studio. Overall, what a tale is Tuna's told. Also, I lied to you about everything I just said. This was all fake. This is the actual Just a Game! This entry is fucking stupid. Like, I honestly could not tell you why this entry is here, because this is neither unidentified nor lost media. This is just some Easter egg. I don't even want to explain this to you. I'll just be the substitute teacher and have this Shy Valley video explain it to you, because you probably already heard it from him.
In the first Shrek movie, during the scene where Shrek and Donkey enter the Farquaad castle, and the guy that's wearing that huge Farquaad head runs into the wall and falls down, in the window on the right, you are able to see some strange woman. It's pretty hard to see and make out, but raising the exposure doing a bit of editing, you can clearly see some blonde woman with sunglasses hidden behind this glass.
What's next? The fucking Fatboy Slim album cover? This entry is so fucking dumb. Like, this shit exists everywhere. What's so special about this one to throw it on the iceberg? Ugh. Well, that was a moot note to end on. But that's okay, because at least we're at the end of the video. And honestly, aside from that entry that, this iceberg entry, this iceberg tier was amazing. I loved it. I think I love how this video turned out. Overall, this actually had the shortest production length of any video so far, which I find surprising because I think it's easily the best one and the longest one too. I started work on it in so the second video was uploaded in March, late March. However, I didn't start work on the video until late April. I took about a month break. And honestly, I had planned for the video to be uploaded by early June. However, by now it's still enough, about the same wait it took for part 1 to part 2. There were a lot of issues with making it. I got very sick like midway through making the video. Like I was fucking dying. I was like, fuck, like every single, like that one image of SpongeBob after he took the 40 Benadryls is how I felt during that time when I was sick. Actually, the funny part, the narration of the funny FBI part, you could hear how fucking sick and dying I was, trying to hold it together without falling into a million pieces. But this came out so well. Part 4, I'm excited for, and I hope you are too. There's not much more to say other than play Rhythm Heaven Groove, coming out in 2026.
You might even be able to play it with your eyes closed.
Groove.